Hello, everyone. I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku? Today, I'd like to announce a new collaborative project featuring Hatsune Miku. Domino's app featuring Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku exists in a software called Vocaloid. Vocaloid enables you to produce songs. A character named Hatsune Miku sings the songs you create. A great feature is you can create songs as you like. I knew our talented Domino's Pizza crew could work together and create great Vocaloid songs.
We did it.
Yep.
It took
a long time.
Okay.
Everyone.
For the people who are like following along, it's like what was it, 4 weeks since the episode 7 when we were talking about the big finale episode. That recording that was on February 2nd.
When are we now?
We're in the smack middle of June.
Yup, we are.
And quite a lot has happened.
Yes.
To the entire planet.
Yes.
Since February.
Yes.
I am the Wash.
I am random bystander here.
Waga na wa Megumin, aka wizard wa nari wa toshi, saikyo no kogeki no mahu, bakuretsu maho wo ayatsuru mono.
With that Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're not in this podcast anymore. Get out.
All right, you're done. Kick him out.
What was that again?
What was that? You better put some subtitles under that.
Subtitles. Effort.
Hey, you put a lot of effort into this. You should see the Sonic episode, which was.
Oh, you should see the Sonic episode.
It's really good.
That is my finest work.
It really is. I don't know if you could top it, but the only thing is, we'll find out.
Yes, this is the CinemaSon finale, at least.
Yes.
Volume 1 finale, because we're probably going to return to CinemaSon and do some more anime films.
Of course.
But we did make a promise to ourselves that we would rewatch these. Well, Random and I would rewatch these films, and we did. Random watched the final one this morning.
This morning, I did it last night.
And you
did it at 2 in the morning.
I got so long that by the time that Wash was done, I had already seen 4 of these movies just by chance.
Yes, I really did take a long time. I don't know,
Yeah.
I was so busy with, like, YouTube stuff and then procrastinating, and definitely a lot of procrastinating.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was in kind of the same spot where it was like such a distant deadline that I feel like, I'll get to that.
And then it just came.
So, now we're all here together. We rewatched all of the films that matter
Yes.
for this volume of CinemaSon. So Kirby, I don't know. Why don't you take it from here?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a jam-packed finale filled for you today. I think all 3 of us agree. CinemaSon has been quite a ride, but
It really has been.
the one thing, but we'll talk about CinemaSon later, but really the one thing that Pixar Spective had that CinemaSon was wholly lacking was the rankings.
Oh,
You know, even just doing Onward and seeing that we made 4 ties, like, I missed that. So
It was 3 times. It was 3 times, but we
added
3
a
times
4th.
previously, and we broke one of them, and then made a new.
we broke
tie.
one. I forgot. Okay, all right, you're right.
Yes, we did. We broke it
Definitely.
like Woody's
Spoilers
arm
for
in
the
Toy Story
Onward
2.
episode.
We broke it
We
like
lost
Woody's
so-
arm in Toy
we
Story
lost
2.
we lost something, but we gained something even better. But so
Glorious.
now that all 3 of us have seen these movies more than once, and we've had, time to sync on all of them for the most part, we can now actually rank them. But before we go into the rankings proper, since for most of us this is our second time seeing the film, some of these films even I haven't seen too many times. I I know Your Name and Wolf Children I'd only seen twice, so it was good to actually get a third time watching those. But we're going to go through them in the order that we watched them for Cinema-san. It'll kind of be a nice bookends. Then we're going to return to Pixar Spective and rank these, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yes.
So for now, it seems like an eternity ago. I don't know how long ago it actually was, but it seems
I
like
think it was in January.
forever ago that we talked about Silent Voice. I want to say no, it couldn't have been January.
It's not an eternity for me.
We talked about Your Name in February. No way we did Silent Voice in January.
Yeah, no. What did we? And we might have done it because I think we sped through the first couple ones really quickly.
No,
and then
I'm trying to find
it was
that
November, late November, early December. That sounds about right.
December 4th.
Early December.
Yep.
Man, half a year. Jeez. Okay, so let's talk about Silent Voice. So what did we all think about it? Everybody get ready for random to shout. What did we all think about Silent Voice on our second viewing?
Wow.
I think I'm going to shout, but yeah, wow. Oh,
I was just going to wait for you to go my heart again like you did multiple times in the first.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My heart! I mean, it wasn't as crushed because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
So I was prepared, at least, but, ooh. It was rough.
Yes.
It was still rough.
Yeah. A lot of parts of that movie don't get better. Like, you know what I mean when I say get better. But a lot of them don't get better as you watch it more. You know, some parts of the movie just wind up stinging even worse.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah, that scene on the bridge where, like, I forgot everybody's name already, even though we watched it.
I know Natsusa, or Natsusa, I forgot.
I know this character's name gets it wrong.
I'm sorry.
Nagatsuka. Come on.
Well, I remember Hana, not Hannah.
Hey, we'll get to that bridge when we cross it.
There was some little things I noticed. Like, I didn't know Shoko was in the opening. The Talking About My Generation opening.
Yes, she is.
Oh god, yeah.
This was our first. This was my really first exposure to anime.
Yeah. And now going back to watch it after seeing all these other movies,
it just seemed.
What do you two have to say other than wow?
This was still one of the saddest. This is still one of the most heartbreaking ones. I still cried like a baby at the end. I didn't cry that much this time, mostly because I knew what was coming, and I was prepared to deal with it. But I think again the scene with the mother apologizing to to the person Akechi voices. I am God.
Shoya.
It's Shoya. Okay, Shoya and Shoko. Okay, Shoya and Shoko. When Shoko's mother apologizes to Shoya's mother, that still got me a little bit. But the ending, I cried like a baby. I ugly cried. So
yeah, it doesn't matter how many times I see the ending. Me too.
Yeah, that really cut deep. Trying to think because a lot of I think I enjoyed this more a little more the second time around. Especially like and we talked about it in the episode that Shoya,
the main character,
the deaf girl,
yeah,
Shoya or Shoko, which one?
The deaf girl, Shoko. I can remember that.
Deaf girl, Shoko. Okay. So like I enjoyed like because we talked about like agency for characters with disability, and I liked the last like 15 minutes where Shoko had like genuine agency in trying to like bring everybody back together, and it felt really powerful in that respect. But also it's just like I just really enjoyed Shoya, the protagonist.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm right there with
the guy. The voice actor does a really good job. Robbie Damon, who I learned played Akechi and Persona 5 does a good job too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, regardless of which language you watch, I think the acting is very good. I believe I told you this already, Wash. The Japanese actress for Shoko she's not deaf, she's not hearing impaired. I believe we went over that, correct? The dub in Japanese. The dub one is, the Japanese one is not. I believe we went over this.
Yes, I think I remember us talking about that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she does a great job. I'm just bringing the point up.
Oh yeah, sure. I think everybody did a fantastic job portraying the
So having seen the other films now, what did you two think of the animation in this one?
It is
still good.
It is stellar. I mean, obviously we talked about like the great like facial animation, the great like detailing of that. Gosh, it the finale, the finale when Shoya is like crying. That actually got me more the first time. The first time I wasn't that I mean I enjoyed it, but it didn't like hit me emotionally as it did the second time around. Especially just like having like once I rewatched and I start to like see like the kind of journey he went through to get to that point, like that hits so hard.
Like he's finally accepted himself at the end.
Yeah, it's so wonderful.
I remember, I believe it was you, Wash, who brought this up when we were talking about it for the first time. Talking about the X's. I don't know if it was you or Random or whoever, but one of you was saying, why are the X's here? Is this some kind of weird music video or something? And then you figure out that's just Shoya blocking everybody away.
Yeah. I forget who was it that said that, but yeah, that I really enjoyed that the second time. It's like the first like half hour or so was just like watching just him like experiencing this, and it's just taken forever until the first like first new face actually like appears to him. The best girl, as you called it.
Facts. I'm still not proven wrong.
I mean, sure. It's just I forget their name.
Nagatsuka.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Nagatsuka. Everyone's forgetting you, even though we know who you are.
Don't say everyone. I've said
2 out of 3 of us are forgetting you.
I've said his name like 3 times already.
Says his name 3 times, forgets.
Hey, that's the last movie, not this one.
That's true.
Well, I mean, for me, it's hard for me to remember like foreign names, and B, it's just hard for me to like remember names in general unless it's written down right in front of me, which at least for this film is not.
No,
and I'm very mad at myself for not doing that.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I still remain the same. Like, I still hate Naoka with a passion. Some moments did feel rushed, like the awkward bridge scene.
Yeah,
It's
literally just like going down the checklist of people that he has to yell at.
Yeah,
It's so
that
checklist. It's like, come on.
I feel like there's a manga of this, I'm sure. I think you said there was. And I'm pretty sure they handle it a lot better because they had more time to.
I mean, I know that like because we did talk about the manga, and I remember like when I was talking about this movie to people on like another like Discord server. Somebody mentioned, because I mentioned the mother, and I mentioned that the mother was kind of a non-presence for the vast majority of it, and it just seemed like overly like just overly like not like angry or spiteful, but just that she just has like this really dark energy that just felt like impenetrable until the very end. And apparently, according to this one person I was talking with, like in the manga, that's explained far better. I wouldn't know because I still haven't touched on that on any of those mangas.
Out of all the films that are probably based on a manga that are here, I would probably want to be interested in this one the most to read.
So
you
go.
No, I'm just gonna say that's pretty much it. I still really enjoyed it. I was watching it. I watched it, so it's still fresh in my mind. But it made me. Oh God, I was gonna do some more stuff. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be that bad this time.
I've watched it already.
I'm just gonna. So it's not gonna be as bad this time. I'm gonna watch this around 2 a.m. I'm gonna work. I end at 2 a.m. Gonna work for an hour, then go to bed. I just went straight to bed and just cried.
I cried myself to sleep.
Well, my post silent voice experience was like right after watching a silent voice. I recorded the Onward episode.
Oh God!
And that was all I was thinking about during Onward discussion.
It's like I want to talk about silent voice, but Random hasn't finished watching the movies yet.
I'm sorry, but hey, I finished now, and we're here now, so that's the important.
So one more point before we move on. I know for Random this was the movie that he watched last, and I'm pretty sure for Wash it was pretty late. I brought this up with the animation, but overall, now that the two of you have seen other anime films, some good, some bad, did silent voice still have a big oomph for you two? Was it still, wow, even though now we've seen 7 of these, silent voice still left a really unique impact? Or was it, okay, I could start to, kind of see similarities between silent voice and these other films might not be as, like the honeymoon phase is over, like that.
Yeah, I personally think there's still an oomph there. Like there's some, especially, but it's not like the whole experience isn't oomph. Like I'm able to notice its flaws now, compared to before. Like before the bridge scene, I was like, oh, it's fine. It's not that bad. But then after watching other films and seeing that, I'm just like, oh yeah, that is noticeable. They could have handled that better. So yeah, the honeymoon phase is over, but I still really enjoyed a lot of the moments. There's some moments that still send me chills down my spine. The ending, the jump scene, the fireworks in general,
yep.
the hospital scene.
Nagatsuka putting the French fry into ketchup and talking to show you like this.
That was still fantastic. That was fantastic.
I love him. I love him so much.
And yeah, so again, it wasn't more like, oh, all of Silent Voice is perfect. More, it wasn't perfect, but it's still a really good film.
I definitely agree with that. That it's maybe the initial wow, it might be a little more muted, but this is a very well constructed film. With and it does pretty good with the juggling all the different characters too. Although there are a couple that just kind of slip through, and it's the one that's just like who are you again?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a couple, but there's one silent voice. I'm like, who are you?
There was literally in that bridge scene, it was like I don't even know who you are or something like that. It was just what is your name?
Hey, we're getting to that one.
That's later.
I know.
We got a couple more films to go. Speaking of
a couple more
next?
films, Random, you are correct. There are a couple films left, and the next one on the list is Wolf Children. What did you two think of Wolf Children on your second viewing? I have to hear Wash first.
Yes.
Fuck Ame.
Yes,
so much.
The hatred is still there. Yes.
Fuck. Oh my god. I genuinely could big the classic CinemaSon moment with my breakdown.
Ame, you ungrateful child.
Thank you. All I wanted was a thank you.
And it's become infamous, and we kept referencing it through so many. It's become our own quota.
It's CinemaSon's version of The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, that whole Good Dinosaur, Bug's Life, whatever Wash's one that we had.
but I genuinely could after that it was we kept bringing it up, and I was still saying I don't hate everything about Ame. It was just this ending scene, and This time around, I generally gave it a second. I generally gave it like a solid chance, and it's I'm just gonna be more. I know what's gonna be coming up ahead, and I'm just gonna be prepared for it, and I'm just gonna like approach it honestly. And you know what? Like the first, because I remember Kirby, you mentioning that like the first portion with the dad, while he was still alive, like you didn't like that part, or and for a time you couldn't like remember much of that part. I still didn't see much wrong with that intro. Bless you. Beyond the kind of shoddy animation.
Yeah.
I still think that I still like the relationship that was developing, and I still think that it had some pretty strong elements. And then like they develop as a family, and I was like really gunning up for it, and it's like yes, and then it's like, and I was remembering again like, oh Ame, you're so cute and adorable, you're so you're so like shy, and it's there's that horrific scene on the river when like Ame like discovers his wolf side during a near-death experience, and it was like, I get it, I feel it, and I feel it for Hana's point of view. And then he said, I'm gonna go to the forest now because they need me. And Hana said, please don't. And he said like, okay. And then he left anyway without saying anything. And then and then Hana like fell into the forest, and I was like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. And it was getting worse. And it was getting worse. and I'm now at the exact same spot that I was before.
Your voice is cracking. You're so mad.
And again, as I said, it's just that scene. Like I said, that like Ame before this, it was like, I got it. I was understanding where it was coming from in the fucking scene. What did you think of it? What did you think of it, Random?
I was just listening to this happen.
Did you not mind it?
I mean, yes, it was. There was one point where Ame went, "Sorry, Mom," in a very edgy way, and I was just like, I felt like it was more like Woody trying to trick Buzz levels. Like, no, Ame, don't do that. No, Ame.
Then he knocks his mother out the window.
Yeah. On one hand, yes, I get it. I get it. How you're angry. He did leave his mother without saying thank you, and even if he just said howled and just said thank you, it would have been slightly better. But
thank you.
But on the other hand,
it's like a breakfast cereal mascot.
Thank you for Cocoa Puffs.
Cookie Crush.
Oh God. But on the other hand, he's a wild animal who's looking to find his purpose in life.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants to do. And
yeah.
I understand him wanting to branch out and be his own person and follow his path in life and what he wants to do. I get it. I get his side of the story too. Granted, he didn't handle it that well, but she wasn't going to let him go otherwise. And in a way, Hana seeing Ame as a wolf made her realize that he is fine and he's able to take care of himself. Granted, it wasn't good that he sent her on like a near half-death experience where she nearly died in the woods. Yeah. But that's not good. I don't think that's good. But he did save her from it. So take it.
She almost died because of him, but it's okay because he saved her when she almost died.
See, that's the thing. Is that like it's a chicken and egg thing, and in this case, like she wouldn't need to be saved if he didn't just like if he didn't like go with his mother to pick up to pick up
but he would
Yuki.
feel trapped in living a life he doesn't want to live.
Well, Wash is saying.
Okay,
Wash
you can do that
all he had to
tomorrow.
do was say, "Peace out, dog."
He did say sorry, Mom.
Probably like under his breath.
Like you could say, like you could like literally just say like, I can't do this, Mom. I have to go.
I mean, he did, but she stopped.
No, he didn't. He just left.
He did. He said I'm going out to the woods, and she's like, "You are not allowed to go anywhere," and she stopped him. And
yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is actually starting to sound like anime discussion. This is amazing. From like normal anime fans.
That's because we are anime fans now. But I understand where you're coming from, but I understand Ame's point of view as well. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying I understand both points of view. And I will defend Ame a bit on him wanting to be who he wants to be and follow his path in life. I will not defend him making his mother scared to death, and although to be fair, he didn't make her go out to go find it. But at the same time,
she's his mother.
He should have known better.
She's his mother.
Probably done that.
Let me ask you this: what exactly is the urgency here? Why couldn't he have just done this like tomorrow?
Sensei died.
Not in the. Huh?
Yeah, no,
the wolf.
Yeah, Sensei the fox.
Sensei already died.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he was dead, and
there was nobody to protect the forest and keep the natural order of the forest.
It's heavily implied that the storm was caused because Sensei wasn't in control of the forest. It's not said right out, but it's very heavily implied.
Yes, very good point.
So, like, what exactly is the Sensei, like, doing? And he's just, like, looking around?
He's in charge of the forest and the mountains and make sure everything's safe and spiritual shit. I don't know.
No, they do cover this in the movie. This is something that they go into detail with Ame in the movie.
So, so that's what's the urgency in his thing. That's why he's like, I gotta do this now. He's trained me for this. Sensei got hurt and is dead. I have to be the one to take over, and I have to do it now. Otherwise, things are gonna get worse. Otherwise, the storm's gonna get worse. And it did get worse. And as soon as Ame howled, the storm cleared up.
Because Ame is the one... Oh, sorry. Because Ame is the one in charge of the forest.
Mountains, really, but yes.
Yeah, whatever. They say forest in the movie, but you're right, too.
Yeah. So, yes, he did scare his mother half to death, and I'm not happy that happened. But he did it for a reason. Not just because he had to do what he wanted to do.
It wasn't just because he had to. He had to, but it was also because he wanted to.
Yeah.
So there was a personal reason to do it, and there was an objective reason.
I understand why you're angry though, because I
am nude and mad. As the expression goes.
But I agree to disagree with you.
Regardless of the outcome, it's really funny.
I agree to disagree.
Not what happens, but listening to you two talk about it, I'm so happy right now.
But at the same time, I understand, and let's agree to disagree.
Okay, sure. I didn't.
I never knew wolf children would be
interesting trivia. There's a movie here too. What did you two think? I mean, no, we had to get Ame out of the way. Like for my own health, we had to get it out of the way first.
No, I understand.
So, what did you two think of the movie as a whole?
Oh, I liked it better the second time.
I think I liked it better the second time around as well.
I think because we didn't compare it to Silent Voice. At least I hope we didn't.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's very true.
Just the jump from Silent Voice to that made just jumping from Silent Voice to any film makes any film look not as good. I made sure I watched Wolf Children very early on. So it was actually not the first, but one of the first. And I thought it was really good. The opening, the romance was cute, but there were points where the animation was weird, yes, but I don't know, I didn't mind it too much. It just felt rushed points.
Yeah, I like me a good romance, but it has to really be good.
Yeah,
a lot of their developments are, shown to be happening in a little montage, and that montage of them getting to know each other, I legitimately really like that part. That was charming to me. But then I'm never gonna forget this for as long as I live, when he transforms and it's like
God.
they don't have the budget for it, so it just keeps cutting in and out. And then when they go to get intimate, she like kisses his nose. that shot is never going to leave my mind. It kills
I
the mood
just
for
forgot
me.
about that, and now you're reminding me of it.
Yes, it is.
I will at least concede. I remember saying when we were talking about this film that him kind of going out and dying on the day that Ame was born was kind of dumb. I kind of get that a little better now. Thinking on what Wash said, I get it a little better now. It's not as bad to me.
Wait, what did Wash
Still,
say?
the fact that Hana, on the day or the day after that she had a baby, she was able to get up and run around. I still don't buy that, but also Hana is one boss of a woman.
Yeah,
so
she's
who am I
amazing.
to
God.
lie?
She's done so much. God,
I still
appreciate
love
it.
Hana.
I think half the reason Wash is so mad about Ame doing that to Anna is because
It's Hana. It is Hana.
To doing that to Hana is because Hana is such a great character in this.
Yes.
And she sacrifices so much. And just to see Ame just like, in Wash's point of view, throw it all out the window and into the mountains. I can
guess,
see why they're mad.
I guess what it is that it's going to a Pixar Spectre Never Dies comparison. I'm guessing that this is something like what Kirby fan was experiencing during Monsters University, where Mike Wazowski was just a likable character. The film was just doing so much, just pushing so much misery and suffering on Mike Wazowski, and like Hana worked her ass off throughout the entirety of this. It just like did so much sacrifice for this. The moving to the near the top of the mountains alone, and just trying to like figure it out from there. Like just all that was just a massive sacrifice, and she just took it day at a time, smiling.
I am assuming you liked Yuki a lot more then.
I did.
Yuki actively looked out for her mother.
Yes.
So I'm sure you liked her a lot more.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed like the it was also kind of really sad. I mentioned this in the episode.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I know what you're gonna say. I agree.
Just how she has all these fascination with like snakes and bones, and she just decided, I'm gonna be more ladylike, and it's like, no, it's like just be you.
Just be yourself. Yeah, that part hasn't aged well.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it's like it's aged poorly. It's like, I get it. It's just sad for me because that is pretty much like what happens. That like that happens for a lot of girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else from either of you about the movie?
Nothing really different. I still really like the moments I like. Like, I like how Yuki was the one who you think was going to become a wolf, and Ame was the one who was going to be the sheltered, wanted to be a human, and then it just flip-flopped at the end due to like some moments. So
yeah,
I still enjoyed that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Good movie. Very good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, whether or not you like the movie or not, you gotta say love. It's Redline.
Funky boy!
What did you two on second viewing think about Redline?
Random, you go first since I started off with the last one.
The animation's cool. It was a ride. And
Yeah.
the animation was good. The character design was interesting. The action scenes were the best thing about it, in my opinion. The story seemed very all over the place. compared to what I remember it. But
I mean, I remember it being all over the place to begin with.
It got to the point where I was like, there was, especially in the dub, there seemed some lines that were just like said, I don't know, it's just something about it the second time I just didn't enjoy as much. Because there were some points that were fantastic still, like, but it just seemed, it was very crazy. And again, it was supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be like a wild ride. But, there's, after watching another film that also felt like a wild ride, but also had a good story to it.
Sonic.
No. Another one, not Sonic. But,
yeah.
It just, in comparison, just was like, it's very good with its action, and it's very good with its character design, and the voice acting's great. But I'm one of those people who loves story more than anything, and the story in Red Line didn't seem like the main focus.
Substantial, yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up rewatching this in Japanese. And a lot of key moments that I remember, at least according to this translation, were very changed. And it became it was still like much of the same story. They had much of the same names and stuff. But it was honestly more interesting for me just to see like what they removed or what they localized. I kind of brought this up when we first talked about it, that it felt like a roller coaster ride, and roller coaster rides are great. Well, I love roller coaster rides, and roller coaster rides can still have some good story to them. It's just, this is much more about the thrills, and then once you try to like take it apart in terms of like stories and characters, there's not a whole lot to chew on here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember I don't even remember most of the racers. I have to think. A lot of their
there were so many that I completely forgot. Like
exactly.
when I went to rewatch, it was like, oh yeah, they showed up.
Oh yeah, they showed up. Like the only ones I can remember are oh God, what's the main character? I know it, but it's like Babyface something.
JP.
JP.
Baby
JP. Yes. And then Soashi, and then there was the guy whose whole body was the car, and there was the bounty hunters. I only remember them because they had to blow up the thing, or had to sabotage the thing that blew up Funky Boy.
Funky Boy.
I remember Ganondorf, General Sojiro Grievous, and what's his name? And Funky Boy. And that's about it. That's all I remember. Also, there was like some magic queens. That
just kind of appeared.
The only time the racers got like development was during these TV segment moments that were just like super fast. And I was like, you learn about this one? Okay, here's this one. And then, you learn about this one. And it just flew by. And some of the people in the yellow line you don't even see again. I don't think you even see any of them again, ever.
No, I'm pretty sure like most of them. I mean, there were a couple that actually got disqualified, which was the only reason JP was able to get to the red line.
No, they weren't disqualified. They refused to do it.
Oh, they did refuse. Oh, I thought they. So it's like and it's like those two, and then also the two plus the two people that just up and quit because it was just way too dangerous, and it. Kind of wasn't. Like all the army people died, but the racers made it pretty well.
Yeah,
that's because they're good racers.
Once they made it to the finish line, they just like chilled out.
Oh, love.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the thing. Everyone made such a big deal about this race, but as soon as it was over, everyone was just like, this wouldn't have better luck next year.
We didn't die. That's a victory for me.
Meanwhile, President Ganondorf was just constantly angry.
Do you think the General and Funky Boy were just like, standing back, kind of, love? Just like
I like the picture.
love.
I like to think the Funky Boy. No, Funky Boy died, didn't he?
No, Funky Boy came back.
Funky Boy came back, and then General Grievous turned into the creature from the Black Lagoon, and they just
he turned into Gygus. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what I like to think? I like to think he said, "Funky Boy, let me explain."
I strongly disagree.
Love.
But yeah, it was a wild ride. It's just story-wise, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, and I will also second a random thought that, like, upon watching another anime film that's not Sonic, the flaws of this one became even more pronounced.
Yes.
And I know I mentioned it in that particular episode, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Which we'll get to.
Pixar perspective never dies.
Yes.
My opinions on it haven't changed since we watched it, so I don't really have much to say. Really fun. Another movie that's very fun, just in a very different way, a polar opposite. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Kiki's Delivery Service. Don't you dare compare. Can I just say, watching this after Animal Crossing came out somehow made it more wholesome?
We compared it to Animal Crossing a couple times.
Because I just kept getting the Animal Crossing vibe when I watched the film, and I think when I watched it, New Horizons at first with you for the episode, you guys, Animal Crossing didn't come out yet, and then when I watched it after Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, I was just like, I just kept getting the AC vibes, and I'm just like, oh, this made it somehow more wholesome, and that's the film, wholesome.
Yeah.
And it was the first one I watched, so let me see if there's anything that new I remembered. I still watched the subbed version. I didn't want to watch the dub.
I couldn't anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. I was there most of these films if I watched them subbed, I watched them subbed, and I watched them dubbed, I watched them dubbed. There's only one film that's different for me, where I didn't watch it the opposite. But I will get to that when I get to that. Stop it. It was great. I thought it was very nice and wholesome. I really identified with Kiki in this one more, because I think by the time I watched it, I was really like, because Kiki was about like starting her own business and making something in her life, and I was relating a lot to that at the time when I rewatched it again. Yeah. So it was and I identified it with more, and identified with the whole thing about comparing a witch losing her powers to an artist being having artist block, or a writer having writer's block, or someone not being able to create art in any way, shape, or form because of burnout. And I knew that was a thing back then, but it really resonated more the second time around.
Oh yes, it's wonderful. It's the closest to a campfire that we'll get to this in this round of anime film. It's just like so comfortable and so nice.
It was very nice and comfortable.
I don't know. I can't really say much more. I can't add much more. Part of it is because, like, as I'm going through my notes, I realize I did not like add anything. I didn't like add any notes upon my second rewatch. It was just really just really touching. I really felt for Kiki being in the new city, and like having to like find her place in a very bustling environment. And it's just a whole lot that I just really enjoyed. I especially like the baker husband. I think the husband.
Yes, the baker's husband. Yes.
Like especially like his relations with Gigi, and like bringing up the dough from the top shelf, and Gigi was like shivering. She shivered with anticipation.
No, it's such a pleasant watch.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw what you were doing.
Yeah, thank you.
But Gigi in general was just funny.
Yes, I love
mostly
Gigi.
because I was like, thank God you're not Phil Hartman.
Thank God. Wow. Harsh.
I'm sorry, but Kiki, can you hear me? No.
Meow.
Meow.
Oh, I messed it up, Kirby fan. You have to edit this out. Kiki's delivery service.
Kiki delivery service. Yep.
That's honestly, I don't really have much to say on that. It was just as good, if not better, the second time around.
That seems to be a trend. I mean, Redline notwithstanding, you seem to have enjoyed these movies more on the second viewing so far, which is good.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add?
I can't think of myself.
I really can't.
Anything you want to say about bloodthirsty old ladies?
What?
The old lady that was watching the TV and it's like, oh, they always cut off at the good part.
Cut off at the good part as people are dying.
I forgot about that. That whole climax scene, I remember we said, did one of us say that it was just felt out of place for the
Bingo,
film?
that was me.
Yep.
In a way, I see your point, but I don't know.
Well, I would actually like to hear your take on this. I just want to hear it.
In a way, it helps. In a way, yes, it does seem weird to be on this whole peaceful Animal Crossing-like setting. All of a sudden, oh god, blimp! Blimp is in the air. Tombo is his name?
Yep, Tombo.
Tombo is stuck in the air and going to die. But Kiki, like, being able to get the courage to get her powers back and being able to control her flying again and to make that moment happen is a nice arc for her.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh, yeah, I think story-wise there's nothing wrong with it.
Story-wise it works. It just could have been built up more. And they do build it up. There's moments where you see the blimp. It's not like the blimp came out.
I don't
have a problem with the blimp.
Yeah.
There
is a lot of anticipation for this. Yeah.
The climax from a writing point of view is fine. I don't have a problem with it there. My issue, I mean, I know it's more than a nitpick, but it's not quite severe enough to be like a big problem that I have. It's just that, as you said, it's out of place. Well, as I said, and then you reiterated, it's out of place. That's all.
Yeah, it's out of place. But I don't know. I feel like, how else would you end the film?
We bought this. Well, I don't want to talk about this yet because we're going to talk about this film in a little bit. But I kind of said something in another one of the episodes that I said you could kind of do something like this, just give it more of a Kiki's flair to it. Which we'll get to that when we get to that. But
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say, really.
All right, you two watch.
I liked it.
You two watch.
Oh yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't rewatch this one because we all knew we were gonna hate it. I part of the reason.
Well, to be fair, you two have watched this more than once.
I have watched this a second time.
This is the only anime film on this list that I have watched in the double digits. I have watched this movie way too many times.
Why did you watch Sonic so many times?
I'm like a 9. Okay, so I have the movie itself. I've watched way too many times. The episode that we recorded where we dubbed, we didn't even know we were dubbing over the film. We were just reading the script. I have watched that episode an unhealthy amount of time.
Oh my god, me too. It's the best thing to happen. I'm so sad that the original episode is lost, but I'm so happy that it had to be sacrificed in order to get what we got. Because arguably, if it didn't get lost, we wouldn't have that.
That's right. No, yeah, that's a solid argument right there.
And sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. The greater good.
Oh, that's for later.
The only thing that I have to add about Sonic, this isn't a perk to the movie. I think the original character designs in that movie, Sarah, the President, the Owl, they look pretty bad. But I'm the Owl. I'm old. But I'll at least give the movie, like, this is not a credit to the movie. I just really like the design of the classic Sonic characters. I think they look really charming.
Yeah, I agree.
They look good in the movie. It's just, it's not a perk of the movie because it's not the movie's reason why they look good.
Yeah,
I mean, Knuckles have a hat?
Credit with the to the design because it was really It might be part of why there are still some weirdos that defend this movie.
People really like the scene when Metal Sonic dies.
Really?
There can only be one Sonic.
I think if you remove it from the rest of the movie and you have it be its own, like, 30-second long scene, Metal Sonic's quote is really cheesy, but, like, the lighting's cool. But it's just when you add the context, it's like, why is Sonic reaching in the volcano?
Yeah.
Why does Metal Sonic try to get out, and then when Sonic offers help, he smacks his hand away? Like,
oh yeah, I didn't even realize that he was trying to get out, and then he just jumped back in.
Okay, well, watch the Sonic episode. I've watched it way too many times. Now you get to watch it too many times too. A movie
We don't like the Sonic movie.
A movie that you absolutely cannot watch too many times. Tokyo Godfathers.
Oh my god.
On a second viewing. Or your second viewing. I've seen this movie a lot.
I love this.
I
love this.
I'm so mad I didn't get to see this film in theaters. I had a chance to, but in the end I was like, nah, I gotta work.
I got the chance to see this in theaters, and I'll talk about that later.
I will say, I did get to see the dub version, though.
Oh, you did?
Originally, I saw the subbed version, because that was all that's out at the time. In March, they released the dub version in theaters. I didn't get to see it. I was bummed about that. I was like, okay, I'll just see the sub version. The original site where we saw the sub version didn't have it anymore.
Oops.
And I was like, oh, snap. Dang. I'll just maybe use a turret. But then I saw YouTube had the dubbed version for only like $4 if you just rented it. And I was like, you know what? I want to hear this dub. Because they actually, the dub cast seemed very good. They had someone transgender to play Hana, which I'm really happy about.
Mm-hmm. It's like getting a deaf actress to play Shoko in silent voice.
Yeah, exactly. Really yes, pretty much. And I wanted to make sure I watched the trailer on YouTube, and it was the same thing. And I was like, oh my god, it's the actual dub. I'm gonna watch it. And because originally what I wanted to do before I knew about Phil Hartman was watch, if I saw originally in subbed, I would watch it again in dubbed, and if I saw originally dubbed, I'd want to do it in subbed, but that just didn't happen. It just didn't. But I wanted to see, you know what, I have the chance to, might as well watch it in dub since it's very new. Mm-hmm. And that was interesting. It was interesting to see that and hear that. The actors did a very good job. I kind of liked it better than I.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Wash? I mean, I know you had pretty much nothing but high praise the first time, but
I cannot love this movie enough. I honestly, it is of everything, this might be like the one that just kind of sticks with me the most. Partly because goddamn that comedy.
It's so funny.
God,
it's so funny
movie.
But
also just like the all these characters and just seeing like all the different there were so many times where I honestly was like we talked about like crying a lot, and there were points where it was like there's crying with laughter, and then there's a point where it was like I was crying because I was just so in love with these characters.
Yeah. Because,
like, there's just so many, like, beautiful moments, especially with Hana.
Yeah.
Love
God.
Hana. just more high praise all around. I cannot recommend this movie enough. It is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to watch it every Christmas. I'm not even lying.
Good. That's a good habit to get into.
I'm going to watch it every holiday season.
I neglected to do it last year, and I'm really mad at myself. But for 3 years before that, I think I watched it every Christmas. It's something like that. It's a good tradition. Get into the habit of it. It's a great Christmas film.
It's such a good.
If you missed it on Christmas, watch it on New Year's.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. And you know what? It's very appropriate because it's basically the story of the three wise men.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, they reference it like right in the beginning of the film too. Like they're not they're not subtle
All right,
about
enough
it.
about the wise men. I want to eat.
Yeah, that's literally.
I'm eating for two.
And then at the end, you see her with you see the woman looking at Hana holding the baby.
She was eating for two.
Oh God, it's so great, and all the coincidences that normally wouldn't work in a normal film, but they work for comedy, and they work because Kyoko is a gift from God.
Yeah, random. You watch I'm pretty sure there's something to the effect of this in the Japanese version, but in the dub, now that you've seen it, Hana literally has a quote: "This baby is a gift from God." She's our baby now.
Oh
God, the
music! The music! Oh,
it's good. It's so good. It's such a good film, and I enjoyed this much more the second time.
And
even when the music played, I was smiling right away.
Oh yeah.
Even and this is especially like a good movie to watch a second time.
Oh yes,
because
there's so much you miss on your first viewing.
Yeah, there's so many like small details that you just completely missed out. You completely missed out the first time, and it all pays off so well. It is such a tight script, which is another reason
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this in advance. When you watch this movie a third time, there's more stuff you're gonna notice.
Oh yes,
it's like an Edgar Wright film, pretty much.
Yes, watch. I remember because they had no better comparison. They couldn't think of anything better. They were saying Edgar Wright, Edgar Wright, Edgar Wright.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably should look at some other because there are other films that get mentioned in terms of like really tight scripts. So I should probably have something other than the obvious one. But in terms of comedy, like this, it's just like so tightly woven, and on top of that, it even if you're not paying attention to the story, which shame on you if you aren't, but even if you aren't, the slapstick is unbelievable.
Oh my God!
The scene. What's the name of the older guy?
Jin. Like
Jin. Jin.
Yes.
Thank you. Or Qui-Gon Jinn.
Continue.
Okay. You're like mad at me for that. So when Jin is like racing over, and then he's just so out of breath that they have to do like charades.
Just the fact that they make a joke about something as touchy as like, I don't know, suicide.
Oh my God, yes! When they're walking by and she's about to jump off the bridge and it's just like a background gag almost.
And they're like, he was like, I can't even imagine like how they must be feeling. She must be like, she might want to drop dead. And then you just see like, I forget her name, not Hana, the other one.
Yeah, the mother, quote unquote mother.
Miyuki.
Oh, Miyuki, yeah, Miyuki.
Yeah, Miyuki look at the quote-unquote mother, you just go, oh my God! And they like run over, they're like, don't do it! And immediately, as soon as they take her out, I think Hana slaps her.
Yes, when they find out she's the mother, Hana slaps her.
And turns out that she genuinely should have.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this movie is, I remember you said it in the episode originally watched, and I can't agree more the second viewing. This is what the adventure Redline should have been.
Yes. I knew what you were talking about. Yes.
And I didn't quite understand that. I was like, oh no, Redline's fine. And then after watching it a second time, Redline second time, I'm like, oh yeah, this could be so much better.
Yeah,
not that it's bad. It's still good. It's just
there could be so much more to this. If it was some more time was spent on the story and characters. Like, and the thing is, like, Redline, I'll give this to Redline, like, you can tell that they really, like, they really went all out in terms of world building for Redline. I think it just needed some more time cooking, honestly. Just to, like, get like, the basics of a story, of a good plot and good characters. And Redline, it had, like, decent characters, but not like characters that are particularly memorable.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, honestly.
So,
I would say...
How about the taxi driver?
Oh my god. So even the background characters... Who you don't know
there's
the
so
name
many
for.
1 or 2 off characters in this movie that just make you laugh. Or you remember
Yeah,
who they are.
The homeless guy, too.
The foreigner that tried to assassinate the mafia guy who got almost crushed by his car because a corgi walked by.
Oh my god, I remember that.
This is Kiki's is like this too. Kiki's is a movie of moments. Tokyo Godfathers is also a movie of moments. It's just
moments and coincidence.
Yeah, Kiki's takes the moments and just kind of makes the movie about the little things in life. Tokyo Godfathers takes those moments and it's just really funny.
And absurdifies
really
them.
funny.
It takes those moments and makes them as comedically absurd as possible.
But you look at every single other piece of work from Satoshi Kon, and then you look at Tokyo Godfathers. It's crazy how good he is at comedy when you look at his other work, because his other movies are not funny. They're not meant to be funny, but they are not funny. You look at Tokyo Godfathers, it's laugh after laugh after laugh after laugh after laugh after laugh after laugh.
After, like, laugh that makes you, like, red in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That whole climax scene.
The climax is so good.
It's actually not only funny, but it's action-packed.
Yes. And the fact that this was a movie that came out in 2003 and showed an LGBT character in a, like, normal way. Like, it was good and good in 2003.
Yeah, not to mention in a time where I'm not sure if Japan still does, but do you say Japan considered the homeless like very low?
For the homeless, they still do. LGBT they consider pretty low too.
Yeah. So which kind of makes the both of them like really remarkable.
Yes.
Especially for the time. Like this was at a time when like LGBT QIA plus people were not really considered were not finally thought of in America. And there was shown with a hell of a lot of
dignity
here. Like this was really something. This was really
was.
This was really powerful.
And I'll always say this, not that you should ignore this stuff, but if for some reason you're like, all right, that's cool, but just give me the basics. It's like this movie's really funny. I sound like a broken. I think I've said this movie's really funny a dozen times by now, but
it's hilarious.
I'll say it a dozen times more. This movie's worth it. It's really funny.
It's so good. It is so good.
And then, all right, last, certainly not least, because we talked about Sonic. Your Name. On second viewing,
what's his name again?
I know we made this joke like 10 times. What?
This was interesting. I forget what order this one. This was more in the middle for me of when I watched this, because I forget. I think it was. Can I say what order we watched them in, or does that matter?
Well, do what you want to do. This segment is more for you guys than it is for me. Everyone knows what I think of these.
I watched Wolf Children. No, I watched Kiki's, then Wolf Children, then I think Your Name, and then Redline, then Tokyo Godfather. So yeah, Your Name was the third one that I watched, and it was. I knew what was coming, and there were some things that I'm trying to think. And now that I understood the concept of like, oh, they switch bodies right from the beginning instead of before, where I was like, what's going on? Because it made a lot more sense. I was like, oh, that's why she doesn't remember anything. Oh, okay.
I still really love the scene in the beginning when they find out that they changed the bodies.
Yes. Oh my god.
I will say, because I remember when we were talking, when we were doing the episode, and Random and I were so like aghast at the twist
Yes.
And I remember at the end I think even Kirby said that's like there's never gonna be, you will never again have the first time watching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was anticipating that, but I was really surprised that this still held up for me, even though I knew the twist was coming, and even though like it wasn't as big of a like oh my god, because like so much of it like was really well set up at the very beginning.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like
I know you had the complaint that the beginning of the movie was kind of formulaic, but it's very important because it sets up for what happens in the rest of the movie.
Absolutely, yeah.
It really does. It's
this movie is really well put together, I think.
It really is.
It
makes you want to pull your hair out at points. But God,
this is definitely the most aggravating watch.
Like,
even Sonic, this is more aggravating.
But it's more aggravating because you care.
I was gonna say Sonic.
No, turn around.
Sonic. Oh my god, the ending. Yeah, Sonic is aggravating in the bad way. This is aggravating in the good way.
Oh my god! Why aren't you looking at each other? Why aren't you looking at each other?
No, I was just getting the voice footage for the episode. The freaking Sharpie drop pissed me off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I even named the episode after that.
Yeah.
I think Kobe said it best in that episode. It's when random it's like, what is are you kidding me? And I was like, cool edit.
It was a cool edit, but oh god, did it make me? I was just like, I just remember the first time watching that, I was just like, what? Because they were just having such a cute moment, and then it was just so cute, and they were gonna write each other's names down, and just as he's about to write it down,
no, especially like the what's the name of the girl?
Mitsuha.
That's right. Mitsuha. That's right. And when she fell down, it was like, wait, that's right. He wrote down his name on my hand. I love you. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's cute, but that's not gonna help.
No, but it does help because it gives her the strength.
I don't even remember her name. It's Mitsuha and the guy's name I don't remember.
And the guy?
Taki! There it is.
Taki.
God, I forget their names more than the characters do.
Well, that's a stretch.
But, another thing I liked, it's amazing how many voice actors from Persona 5 have been in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the side characters of being very great, or like even the side characters having their like chance to shine. I liked, even though they never really met each other, they had still great chemistry together. The two lead people.
Oh yeah, when they finally see each other for the first time.
Mitsuha.
Yeah.
Even before that, when they're like,
when they're writing, in the notebook, writing on the phones and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was kind of cute yesterday.
That was really good. Yeah,
that was nice. We don't really see much of Taki's dad.
Yeah, he has like 3
lines.
That. You were supposed to make breakfast, whatever, see you later, and alright, go look at the comment, whatever, I don't care.
I don't know why I don't think I enjoyed it as much the last time, compared to last time. Probably because it's one of those films where the first time is probably going to be the best time, because you really are going into it blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something about it just, it just the second time was still good, it just wasn't as good for me, and I can't really explain why.
Okay, I mean, I as I said, I kind of had the opposite experience because, and when we were discussing it, like at first I was just like, "What is this?" Like, it felt like I said, it felt formulaic at first, and I was like, "What is going on? What it's like, what is the twist here? What's gonna happen?" But it was upon the second watch that I started to notice a whole lot more of the smaller details that were secretly set up. And it was really smart how it did it, because like the first time I missed so much of that, or I was just really confused, and so it just kind of make those moments like stand out even more, because it was like, oh, that's really clever, because it just kind of felt
It feels
felt pretty
rewarding
seamless.
because the intent of the director was to confuse you. So when you watch
Yeah.
it a second time and you know everything that's going to happen and you pick up on all these things that he's setting up, you think, I know now. That was very well set up. I'm smarter.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I still think my first
it's
viewing is always
still-
going to be my favorite just because I got to watch it with a group of other weeaboos that got
still
to
jealous
shout
of
at
you
the
for that.
screen in unison with me. My second time watching this, it was at home in front of a computer. It's not the same.
I didn't shout because I was probably watching it late at night, but I wish I did. I wish I
could have
saw
shouted.
this at a convention with people just to be like, just so you'd be like, oh my god, just get together. Don't remember the name. Mitsuha Taki.
We ended the podcast on a title drop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Can I ask your name? Credit music.
Oh, such a great way to end it too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are all of the movies that we have watched. We'll get into the specifics of the
I want to
podcast
make-
itself later, but for now, it's Pixar respective time. Wash, do you have a copy of the average rankings calculator available?
I do have a copy of it.
All right,
Yes.
ranking time.
Ranking time.
It is ranking time.
So,
I have a
just as a
updated
reminder,
version.
we are ranking all 7 of the movies. I know what the bottom is going to be, but oh well. We have a bottom for Pixar, we have a bottom for anime.
Well,
Uh-huh.
at least with the bottoms for Pixar, it's all different.
With this, we can reach a consensus pretty easily, I think. I am curious to see how you guys would rank these, because just from listening to your opinions on the second times, what I expect the list to be for both of you are different from what I had them as coming in.
Mhm.
But enough about that. I'll go first just because I've already pretty much said my spiel on all these. It's not like you guys where there's suspense. The bottom is Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
So for number 6, this is when everything's not quite so predictable anymore. I know I did the rankings in the podcast. I won't say whether or not everything has changed. However, my number 6 is still Wolf Children. I do like the movie a lot. Very distinct visual style, I feel. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've warmed up a little bit on the opening. I still think there's some really dumb moments on it. Like I said, certain shots that I'll never forget for worse. But what I like about the movie is just the story of a mother raising her children, but they're a unique kind of children, and she can't ask anybody for help. She's in this journey on her own, and it's just that journey. It's her journey. And I said this in the episode, my favorite thing about the movie is that it starts out as Hana's story, but it becomes the story of her children, because that is what happens when you are a parent.
Mhm.
And I really like that about Wolf Children. I just don't think there's as much substance to it. Like, I'm not talking about some of the more fillery moments, because I love those. But, like, the substance that is there, I don't think hits me as hard as a lot of the stuff for the other movies do. I don't think it's as fun as some of the other movies. I think it's got a very solid framework. It just doesn't build very much from there. And out of all the movies, this is the one that has, other than Sonic, the one that has the most notable flaws, in my opinion. But I still love it.
Okay.
Very, very solid movie.
To be honest, I had it figured out the first time I watched it.
Mhm.
Red Line is my number 6. It is as we said, it is a fun ride, and that's about it. It's with so many of these other films, like the characters are really really strong. And this one, like I said, is decent, but it just never made it past. It never made it past that. So it was it was just kind of disappointing. It was still fun. I think the second time around, because I remember the first time it was just a struggle to keep paying attention to it. just because there was so much shit going on. The second time around, I I enjoyed a little bit more, but it just does not hold a candle to the rest of the list. But that's my number 6. Random.
I think I know what this one's going to be too, but
Yeah. Wash, I agree with you. Number 6 is Redline. I agree with everything you said, but mostly for the main reason for me is I'm a guy who loves story, and Redline does not really shine in the story department. It shines in character design, it shines fast-paced action, it shines being a racing film, but it just wasn't for me. Too many characters I didn't even remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did what they did with, if any of the characters were just a little more memorable, and they did focus a little bit more on story, I probably would have put it higher on the list. But right now, it's just pretty low. It's the lowest one.
Number 5s, again, I went over mine when we were talking about the films themselves. My number 5 is the same. It's still Your Name. Best experience watching a movie at the convention with people, just being in that kind of atmosphere. You're not at a movie theater. You're trying to either keep quiet as to not disturb other people, or you've got kids and the kids are making noise, stuff like that. It's just legitimately a group of nerds watching a film and freaking out over the fact that they can't remember their names and the Sharpie dropped and but it's got a lot of good points. It's gorgeous. I love the backgrounds. I enjoy the characters a lot. I think it's a standard story written and directed in a way that makes it really interesting. I like that about it a lot. I just didn't find myself having that much fun with it. I was engaged, I cared pretty much start to finish. There was no point where I was like, I could do with watching something else. Your Name is just kind of like whatever, start to finish. I was into it. I was really liking it, even on my second viewing. But I just wasn't fully, completely into it like I was with a lot of the other ones. And that's kind of why I put Your Name at number 5. But I still really love it. I think it's a really good movie. Deserves all the praise that it gets. And yeah. All right, so I don't know what your number 5s are gonna be. I legitimately don't know. I feel like I might know washes, but not randoms.
I'll go next. So let's do a pattern. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Wolf Children is number 5.
Okay.
I liked it. I still thought, again, the story moments in Wolf Children were fantastic enough for me to beat out Redline. I sympathize with Ame. So, and I just found myself, not even the beginning wasn't had its flaws, but I still found myself really getting into the story of this movie. And it was a slice of life moment, and was great seeing the characters grow as they grew up, and again, Anna, just a fantastic character, one of the most hardworking characters in any piece of media I've ever seen, and just to see how all she has done in the film, and how her children have grown, and all she does is just it's inspiring even. So I gotta put it above Redline.
All right.
Yeah, Wolf Children.
Okay.
The
Wash _. What is your number 5?
I'm just gonna say I really hope that Brandon and I don't have identical lists, because I'm really annoyed right now. Because mine, it's also Wolf Children.
Son of a bitch! We're already alike that we have the same birthday.
Hey, your picks, our respective lists are mostly different. Come on.
True.
But, okay. But anyway, I disagree with Ame. I disagree strongly.
Your lists are exactly the same, but you disagree so strongly on Ame that makes up for it.
I think what it is that the gap between Wolf Children and Redline is smaller for me than it is for Random. At least that's what I'm guessing. Because because otherwise, I feel like this is a pretty good movie. Hana, absolute star of the film, in so many respects, just wonderful character, wonderful mother. It's a shame I forget if that episode came out on Mother's Day, but like this is definitely the movie to watch on Mother's Day.
Oh my god, yes.
It's the movie that will make you want to call your mom just to say hi.
Did you call your mom when you watched the film again?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Mom, thank you so much for not naming me Ame. Thank you.
I don't know. There's not a lot that I can say on it. I feel like it's still a pretty solid movie. Like I said, Hana is the best part of it. I think this. Is this no, it's not the longest one. Silent Voice is the longest one. But this one did feel a little bit long. It's just kind of like but it is slow paced, and that's kind of the point of it. So I still enjoyed it a good amount. I just wish it had a better ending.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fine for me.
All
right. Number 4s. Again, mine has not changed. Mine is Redline. I will go a little bit more into this just because I know I think I like Redline just a little bit more than you two. First of all, for shame, the music was not brought up once. For shame. Just dropping that right now. But I think mostly what it boils down to is that, I love story just as much as the next guy, whatever. But I am also totally down to just watch a movie that I have fun with. So long as, I remember saying this during the Redline episode, and I will stand by this, so long as there is enough substance, so long as there is enough story, I am fine with just watching a movie where they're driving through a racetrack, and then all of a sudden, this guy in a deep, demanding voice says, "They can't reach Funky Boy's lair!" Like, I'm perfectly willing to just, I'm not saying, obviously I know you two had fun with it, it's just the lack of story held it back for you, and I understand that, but if it's fun enough, I'm fine with the story not being fully there. It's there enough for me. I've seen another anime, it was an anime film too, I've seen one pretty recently, it came out in 2019, so it's very new, that was a lot like Redline. It was a fun movie, but I thought it did a much worse job at handling the world building. Like, it was really, it was a fun ride, but I just couldn't get into it because that substance that Redline had wasn't there. And that made me appreciate Redline even more than I already did. Of course, I love the voice acting. I'll bring that up. Incredible job. It's just so much fun. I feel like it's one of those ones where the more you pick it apart, it's not, oh, this isn't as good. The more it's like, wait, what? Say that again? You have this laser that can destroy things, but it takes 2 hours to charge. If the glass gets dirty, then it doesn't work right? What?
But to me, it just sounds, I found myself questioning the plot more than anything.
That's fun.
I think that's why I don't like it.
To me.
I like how
it's fun to me because it's not bad. If you're picking stuff apart and it's like, all right, this is really bad. But if you're picking it apart and you're just having fun and laughing, then I love that. I love that. But, and I get that, it's not the same for you two, quite to the same degree it is for me, at least. But that's why it's not a problem to me. And, the movie is consistent about it. It's not like it tries to tell this deep story and then it's just like, never mind. The music, the tone, the characters, the world that they go to, Funky Boy, all that, it's all consistent.
Yeah, honestly, what you see right from the beginning is what you get all the way till the very end. I can respect that.
I want to make an addendum for the people listening that, like, the gulf between number 6 and number 7 is huge, continent wide.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I did not have as much. I wasn't as into Redline. But I will absolutely take rewatching Redline. I would honestly rewatch Redline. Maybe not soon, but like it is a good romp. It is fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun. And Funky Boy's still my favorite thing about the movie.
If Funky Boy isn't your favorite thing about the movie, you're watching it wrong. What about, if we're following the pattern, what about you, Wash?
Yes. Okay, so
I'm interested to hear this, see if we're alike.
see, I'm worried about that. Your Name is number 4.
I was right.
Yeah. It was number 3.
Oh, really?
And yes, it was number 3 originally. And I think the reason why I put it up there was because I was just really surprised the second time around, which is how was that I enjoyed it more than I did the first time, and I think that made me put it above this other film. But if we're gonna be talking about characters, then Taki is, as we said, he's just he's rudderless. I guess I can say. He's kind of the might be one of the weaker parts of the film. Not like terrible in any real way. Although he did like keep grabbing Mitsuha's breast, which is come on, keep your priorities straight.
Okay, but Mitsuha and Taki's body also, took the pants off a couple times.
Hey, that was just out of shock, okay? But anyway, just like the when Taki finally goes back into Mitsuha's body, and then Mitsuha's sister comes in, and she's like crying while grabbing her.
I'm going to school on my own.
And I'm going to school on my own. And then
She lost it.
She lost it. I'm just gonna go. So yeah. But it's just still very, very good. As I said, I enjoyed this a lot more my second time around. So I will give it to Your Name for number 4. Random. Did it happen again?
Yep. I knew it.
Damn it,
I knew
Wash.
it. I was right.
Damn it, Wash! Yes.
I almost didn't switch just because I had a gut feeling that we were gonna match again.
Well, yeah, we did. Yes, I agree. It's Your Name. Because again, for the same, I still really enjoyed the story, but I am kind of agree with you, Kirby fan. Like, I didn't have the same as much of I wasn't into it as much as I was the first time. And I still enjoyed the story. I still enjoyed how things loosed end, but I don't know. It's more of the fact that I enjoy the other 3 films more than I like this one less, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
I still really like.
Is this where you start loving them random, or was it Wolf Children?
This is the like love.
Okay,
one.
so you basically love it. Okay,
Yeah.
The next are love.
You basically love this one.
Yeah,
Basically, pretty much. It's just it's more like it's more like a parent who's angry at their child, but they still love them.
Oh man.
Yes.
So far, I haven't matched with you guys. This might be where it starts. I have a funny feeling that it will. But my number 3, again, 5th verse, same as the first, same as it was before. My number 3 is Kiki's Delivery Service. Kiki's Delivery Service. Don't you dare compare. I love this movie so much. There's so much that I love about this movie. I love how gentle and kind and nice of an energy that it has. I love Kiki. I love her struggles. I love how, there are supernatural elements to it, such as witches and stuff like that, and people are completely accepting of it. Like, witches are a thing that are in this world, and because that's a thing, the world accepts it. It's not like, witches are in this world. Ooh, she's a witch. No. When she arrives at the city, the people are like, oh, she's a witch. That's pretty cool. Oh, she caused property damage. Time to move on.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that there are people... this is a world that functions just like ours. Literally, the only difference is that witches exist, and you can build off of that, but you can still have things like a bakery, a grandmother, an ungrateful granddaughter, dogs, cute husbands who bake things. I love that. When Kiki goes to the hotel, she needs to show a form of ID because that's just how the process works. Everything, it seems so well thought out, but obviously it was, but it's just so natural, and it's so kind and gentle and warm, and I love it. Love it. Really love it. The ending not fitting the tone of the movie is, in the grand scheme of things, a pretty minor complaint. I'm still not going to call it a nitpick, but it's a pretty minor complaint in the grand scheme of things, and any other complaint I have with the movie is either super personal or doesn't really matter. I love Kiki. I love the characters. I love the town. I love the animation. I love the colors. The music is so gentle and nice. It's a really good movie. I like it a lot.
It's so nice.
So nice.
I forget who's next.
My turn,
who's
right?
next in the pattern.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Random.
Yeah,
because
because
what's your number 3? I think I know what it is. What's your number 3?
of course you know what it is. We all know what it is. It's Kiki's Delivery Service.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. It's just a cozy, feel-good movie. And the fact that I really identified with Kiki in this one, and again, how it reminded me so much of Animal Crossing, about moving into a new town and starting a new life, and just finding a purpose in that life. I identified with a lot. I identified with Kiki a lot in the film, and her struggles, and her wanting to do her best and come up with a talent and something she's good at. And it really hit hard, and it was just so cozy and comfortable. And God, so nice. Just a nice movie. And every character was memorable. And every character had a bit of moment to shine. Gigi was hilarious. I related a lot to it. And again, the climax was nice. I agree. There's other climaxes that we've watched that are better. And yeah.
I think we're going back to Sonic on this one, where we all have the same number 3. Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, this is a very easy third place here. Kiki's Delivery Service. There's really... I have nothing more to add to this. We've already said everything just wonderful about it. Cozy, great characters, beautiful environment, beautiful music. Just all around just fantastic. Minor complaint. There are some minor complaints. I felt that the message about like, because like the metaphor of art was kind of jarbled when you consider that it's like they're like born witches, and it's like like nobody seemed to like develop the craft. It's just that you're just born talented, which could be better, but still very, very, very warm and fuzzy feeling inside.
Rank change.
Oh no.
Yeah. Big thing happened in between when I ranked these the last time and I ranked them this time. Tokyo Godfathers had a dub. I had only gotten to see it once in really bad quality, so I was just like, all right, this dub exists. And nothing. I have nothing against the Japanese version for any of these movies. They're great, if not better, than what the dub versions are. Obviously, they're the original version, so that has a lot of help to it. But this is just always how I've worked with animation. And this is not, again, it's not an inherent problem with the films. It's just my own enjoyment of them. I don't know Japanese all that well. I know an occasional phrase here and there. So if I'm watching something in Japanese, I can't really, I can read what they're saying, but I can't fully understand what they're saying. So if I have a chance to watch a movie dubbed, that helps me understand inflections and things a lot more. It just helps me get into it a lot more. And more important than that even, voice acting is what I kind of want to do with my life. So if I get to watch a movie in English and hear these actors be actors, hearing it in my native language just gets me into it a lot more. I can pick apart what they're doing and not only learn from it, but also think about like how brilliant they are. And I got to see the new dub for Tokyo Godfathers in a movie theater, so the quality was picture perfect. and getting silent voice, I had also seen the dub for already. It was an inherent advantage for silent voice when I saw that, because I saw the dub for silent voice, then the Japanese version, yada yada. Tokyo Godfathers, I had only ever seen the Japanese version and the old dub in poor quality. Now that I've gotten to see the new dub of Tokyo Godfathers, and I really just got to think about everything about the movie. Yeah, no, Silent Voice is number 2. Tokyo Godfathers is number 1. Silent Voice.
I did not expect
Silent
that.
Voice is a beautiful movie. I definitely think Silent Voice is the more important movie of the two. Tokyo Godfathers is my favorite. If I were to recommend one of these movies to anybody, I would pick Silent Voice first. It's a beautiful movie. I think it's super important because of the message it has about disabilities. But what's so great about Shoya as a character is that because he doesn't have a disability, you can still show it to somebody without the disability. Say, hey, Shoko is a character who will help you see people with a disability, see their struggles, but you could see some of your own struggles not having a disability. And if you have one, then you're Shoko, and you can relate to Shoya's struggles as well, because Shoya's struggles are struggles that anybody can deal with. It's a beautiful film. I think it's got some great laughs. You know, Nagatsuka's there, best girl. And I think Silent Voice has the better ending as well. Better animation. I think Tokyo Godfathers has better designs. I think Tokyo Godfathers is easily the more funny film, but that's, you know, it's like masterful comedy against comedy that enhances the movie, you know? I think Tokyo Godfathers actually has better characters. I think Tokyo Godfathers is just more... You could watch the movie a million times and you're just still gonna laugh. You know, there will come a point with Silent Voice where you can see what's coming. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. Tokyo Godfathers, you know what's coming. It's like you're watching the movie for the first time, right? It's so fun, but it still manages to have that humanity in it that Satoshi Kon was so good at crafting. And it's it feels weird to say that, you know, a dub was what changed my mind, but it really just did allow me to see the complete picture. And I think with that, I can say now, it's still not quite an Incredibles killer. That's still my number 1 movie. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You know, there's still a noticeable gap, but I'll say this much. It's razor thin. We haven't used this term since Pixarspective, so let me bring it back. The gap between Tokyo Godfathers and Silent Voice, super small, razor thin. Very, very small. And also Silent Voice has the bridge. Like, that's kind of it. I guess Tokyo Godfathers has the better movie. I can't really think of like a major negative. Masterful movies. 2 of my all-time favorites.
From the discussion, like just how excited I got for Silent Voice. No, for Tokyo Godfathers. Like first time I watched it, it is, oh my god, it's so masterful. It's so good. It's just so, like, I'm 100% with you. Like, they're like small things that I'm not crazy about with Silent Voice. Tokyo Godfathers, I have to like pick hard if I'm gonna find anything.
No,
if I'm gonna find, it's so good. It's so funny. It's so heartwarming. It's so insane. It goes in play like this is kind of similar with Your Name, where you're never gonna have a first time watching, where it's just like the first time where you like they go up to the party. And you're like, and you're like, okay, I think I know where this is gonna go. Assassin, assassin that can only speak Spanish. and Miyuki is like, thank you very much. Wonderful. Mwah, mwah. Fantastic. I can't love it enough. Silent Voice. I will give major props to Silent Voice because it holds up a lot more than I was expecting it to. It's just really especially like the second time watching, it was like I really got into Shoya's story. Just like his emotional growth, his trying to forgive himself. It's like I know that I've been there.
We all have.
It's just something. It's something that gnaws at you for years later. It gets so it's so like heartbreaking to watch, and just in so many ways, and just it's just and of course like Shoko just poor Shoko just trying to say I love you, and
the moon,
and so it says the moon like it's a Mario Odyssey or something. Yeah, I love the moon,
Shoko.
Random.
Hi.
Alright, bystander,
random,
you're up. Is your list the exact same as the Washington?
Do we have exactly the same list?
Listen.
Oh no!
That could mean anything.
Wait a minute. This list was not hard to make for me. I pretty much knew where everything was going to go.
This is where it got hard.
These films are both fantastic. I love them both to death. I was even saying with Tokyo Godfathers how I want to watch that film every Christmas because it is a laugh. It is such a fun movie. I can't really think of anything wrong with it either. The only minor nitpick was maybe the fact that it's too coincidental, but even then I thought that works because they do it with the story.
Mm-hmm.
I love this film. I'm gonna watch it every year. However, I think Silent Voice is an extremely important film. I relate to it a lot with both Shoya and Shoko. I really think, even though there are problems with it, like the bridge scene, I am not a fan of that. The moments that really stick out to me, like the whole beginning moment where the pain where you see Shoya bully Shoko, that whole fight scene, the whole scene where you see them like fight in a classroom where she's just shouting, I'm trying my best. What
are you saying? I can't understand you. Speak normal.
It's so difficult to watch. But I felt like I learned a lot, and I felt like with Tokyo Godfather, something I wanted to watch, and Silent Voice was something I needed to watch.
Ooh, I like that.
And,
me too.
I like that a lot.
And again, that ending killed me. It brought me to tears, like ugly.
Silent
cry.
Voice for sure. I think we can all agree Silent Voice had the better ending.
It did. And there were also other moments in it. And while I think there's some moments in Silent Voice that aren't perfect, and while I do think Tokyo Godfathers is such a wild, crazy, fun ride, Silent Voice really shows what living with a disability, whether it's loss of hearing or something as simple as something like depression and maybe anxiety and just self-guilt and what that's like to deal with. And it really hits hard with that. And I relate to both Shoya and Shoko because of it. So it was really tough, but I really was thinking about it, even up to now. And I love Tokyo Godfathers, but I gotta say Silent Voice. Silent Voice is number 1. Tokyo Godfathers is number 2.
Finally! Finally!
I thought you were going to be with me on this, Kirby fan, but...
Okay, so, is it time to do averages?
Yeah, let's do an average.
That's right, we have our average right here. It's nice to finally have a list that's gonna take less than a minute to read out.
And also maybe not as many. Well, actually, there might be some ties.
We don't know.
So, from the bottom up, we have Sonic the Hedgehog at number 3. Just for context, the lowest film in the Pixar ranking, Cars 2, is at number 5. So Sonic is unanimous. That's like 1 point.
Number
each.
3.
After that, we have Red Line at number 8. Then Wolf Children at number 8.
There's a tie.
There's a tie. Your Name at number 11. Kiki's Delivery Service at number 15. Silent Voice at 19. And Tokyo Godfathers is at top of the list for 20.
We have a tie. It's the podcast.
It's a podcast.
Yep. It's not a
tie
podcast
again. Wolf Children and Redline.
Yeah, it's Wolf Children and Redline. I was expecting that because like the disparity between the two is pretty wide.
What can I say? I like movies about cars. Oh, man.
Is there any more questions before we move on to what's next?
Well, that's the question on everybody's minds, right? I pretty much took complete control of CinemaSon.
That's right.
I'll leave this up to one of you two.
Yeah.
But what's next now that anime is dead?
It's not dead, it's just hibernating.
Well,
it's resting.
Hibernating. Hibernating. Ame's hibernating in the
Ame, you ungrateful child.
Ame, wake the fuck up.
Looking for you. Oh my God. It's okay, Ame. I still respect you and I understand you, but it's all right.
So what's next, fellas?
Well. So yes, Kobe fan has done a great job, but you know what? I've had enough of it. There's too much control over here. Now I have your power, and
even though I'm doing the editing.
We've had a few different ideas for podcasts, and what we have planned is something that's also very personal for the three of us. But it's gonna be a little different because we're no longer doing animation. We are doing 100% live action films.
Yep. Which is going to be very difficult for me.
Specifically, we are going to be doing the filmography of British director Edgar Wright,
which is going to be very easy for me.
We're all big fans. I think I'm the one that introduced you to the.
You definitely introduced me. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely me too.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't have known about Edgar. Well, I probably would have figured it out, but I wouldn't have loved him as much as I do now if it weren't for you showing me.
I remember you introducing me to. I remember you introducing me to Shaun of the Dead, and I felt like a whole new world of possibilities opened up to me.
Same thing, only with I think for me it was Hot Fuzz. That was the big
one. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about because we're actually gonna try to. So I'll add this. The reason we were originally planning to do Edgar Wright next was there was in October, in the end of sometime in October, there was supposed to be the latest Edgar Wright film, Last Night in Soho, and we were going to, and what we were planning to do is we were planning to do our go through the film, and then the final episode was going to be Last Night in Soho, where we were like, now that we've gone through the oeuvre of Edgar Wright films, we can talk about the latest one. Nope. Not happening.
Nope.
It's been delayed. I forget. I don't have the new date in front of me, but it is not 2020.
It's 2021.
Yes, I think it's May 2021, but I'm gonna I'm not sure. The point is that unfortunately that plan was not gonna work out. But the thing is, because we no longer have that that in the horizon, that actually gives us more space to with the podcast. So not only are we doing the entire filmography of Edgar Wright, we are also going to be talking about what his one of he directed many television shows, but the biggest one by far is Spaced.
Yes.
So we are not only going to be doing live action films, we're going to be doing live action television.
Yeah.
And I am very excited for that. It's going to be a very different pace. I'll have my own plan for that one, but yeah, this is big stuff. Do either of you have anything to add to this?
No, I'm just very excited to watch. I've seen a lot of the Edgar Wright movies. The only one I haven't seen is Scott Pilgrim, and of course Space. But out of the movies, Scott Pilgrim, and unless we're watching any of the other ones,
we'll get there.
We'll get to that when we get to that. But I'm excited because I love him as a director, and I love his movies so much. So I'm going to be talking about them, and I'm going to love talking about them. Plus, it's live action is new for us. And
yeah, that's my big thing. I know you two actually bother watching live action stuff. I don't. I'm all about animation. So we're gonna be starting this podcast. We're gonna be talking about the first film, and I'm gonna say, so the movie was animated really well. I'm gonna have to stop myself.
That's gonna be a running joke.
Yeah.
But
But
like live action might not be my thing, but Edgar Wright is my thing. So I am. There are also, I've seen the Cornetto trilogy, I've seen Scott Pilgrim, but I've not seen all of his movies. So I will be going into this blind. That's something I did not get with CinemaSon, because I've obviously seen these all multiple times. But that should be interesting. I'll get to experience talking about a movie blind.
Yeah.
Plus us doing live action may open the doorway for other live action segments that we may or may not do.
I mean, look, I got you two to watch anime. We can do anything.
Exactly. Anything. But
the world
that's
is
the
our
future.
oyster.
That's the future. Right now is the right time.
Over already. We had a 4-month gap, and I still feel like it's over already.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not over. It's just hibernation. Because we will be back to Anime Spective. To CinemaSon.
Anime Spective was the beta name.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
What are we calling Edgar Wright podcast again?
That's about right.
No, that's about right, yeah. Jumping the Fence was already taken.
Yeah, that's right. We almost did Jump in the Fence, and that was cruelly taken by an advice podcast. Don't subscribe to that advice podcast, whatever you do. Instead,
subscribe.
Subscribe to us. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. We are a work in progress. That's WRK in progress. And since we don't do this enough, I'm also going to plug the Twitter account for those who need to be informed on when we're next uploading our episodes, because it's in both Simplecast and YouTube, and some of the stuff is only on YouTube. The point is, go to our Twitter account at WRK Podcast, and we'll keep you posted on when the next big podcast project will be, because we really like this format. It gives us
we do. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Gives us
also.
I was not expecting CinemaSon to go over as well as it did. I mean, not just, you two like the movies, that's great, but it was just fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And and if you have any other suggestions of things that we may want to cover in the future, I mean, we have some stuff planned in the works, even after the That's About Right, in the works. We have some stuff planned after That's About Right, like, I can't give away too much, but we have some things planned. But hey, if you have yeah, we gotta iron things out a bit. But we gotta do That's About Right a bit more. But if you have any ideas or things that we should cover, let us know in the comments. on YouTube.
Let us know in the
Or
comments.
Twitter.
Yeah, comment on YouTube. Tell us on Twitter. Just please engage with us. I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to go into?
I think that's it.
If you like anime, stay tuned.
Yeah. Yes, there will be more anime, but first, right.
Right.
Right. Wrong.
No.
And on that note,
Knuckles gives Sonic the thumbs down.
Oh. And on that note, I am Random Bystander here.
I am the Wash.
Watashi wa Kabi-fan, oyasumi nasai!
And we will see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Although we are going to be doing stuff in between.